Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of our guests. I want to introduce myself and open up this session. My name is Julie Heller, and I work at AIG in the law department. I am the head of legal knowledge management and information governance. I am also the president of the New York Region Women and Allies Employee Resource Group, and I am one of the co-chairs of the Mental Health Committee for Dive In 2022. And I'm so pleased to be here today to introduce this session on uh, mental wellness techniques that work and our catchphrase, which is Ha, Om, Snap. So I'm going to introduce our three presenters and then we'll get started. So first, I'd like to introduce Ellen Klein. She is a registered nurse and certified laughter yoga leader and teacher. She has been leading the free weekly community Optimist Laughter Club that she founded at Glenbrook Hospital in 2016. It now meets on Zoom. Ellen also conducts laughter yoga trainings and Laugh and Uplift Great Hope, otherwise known as LAUGH, programs around Chicagoland. Her mission is to serve humanity for an uplifting and joyful evolution through her organization, Optimistically You. She has been practicing laughter yoga since 2011. At least it's not my dog, someone's dog. Okay. Next, I'd like to introduce Andray Napolez. He draws on incredible life experiences and metaphysical training to deliver profound personal breakthroughs for his clients. Frustrated and unsatisfied individuals are typically introduced to Andray when they are yearning for expanded awareness of blind spots and self-sabotage, increased connection to themselves, their loved ones, and their intuition and insight into how they can shift their lives from where they are to where they want to be. Through intuitive exploration and application of metaphysical healing modalities, Andray delivers new insights, perspective, and understanding for each and every client. Professionally, Andray began as a financial analyst for Johnson & Johnson and L'Oreal USA. He then became a prosecutor after attending Washington University School of Law in St. Louis, which led him to the largest firm in the world, Baker McKenzie. There he practiced in the high-stakes, high-stress arena of white-collar defense and complex commercial litigation. Frustrated and sensing a need for more, Andray moved to a work-from-home position with Thomson Reuters, which gave him the freedom to begin his healing journey and to train in varying methods of intuitive development, including quantum energy healing, quantum meditation, and Akashic records reading. Andray also lived with a Sangoma, a shaman, in South Africa, studying ancestral connection, and spent time in Peru and Australia working with indigenous healers and expanding his abilities. Come get clarity and certainty in these uncertain times with Andray. And our final presenter today will be Alexandra Janelli, who is considered one of New York City's premier hypnotists and life coaches, who has worked with Academy Award nominee actors, world-renowned photographers, singers, top-level executives, and professionals across many sectors of business. As a certified hypnotherapist and coach, she is passionate about creating sustainable subconscious change and behavioral shifts through her breathe, listen, change techniques. Alexandra has been featured in the New York Times, Elle Magazine, Oprah Magazine, Men's Fitness, Forbes, The New Yorker, and various other publications for her hypnotherapy practice and her various creative endeavors. Alexandra is a graduate of the Hypnosis Motivation Institute, the first nationally accredited hypnosis program, where she received an advanced training, graduate diploma in hypnotherapy and handwriting analysis. She is also a certified life coach, from the IPEC coaching training program, which is accredited by the International Coaching Federation, the governing organization that sets and monitors standards for professional coaching ethics, training, and practices. In 2010, Alexandra founded Theta Spring Hypnosis in Chicago and then moved her practice to New York City. A born and raised New Yorker with a background prior to hypnotherapy and consulting, Alexandra can cater to a wide variety of clientele through her caring and attentive listening. And with that, I will just let the audience know there is a Q&A icon on the right side of your screen, and you should feel free to post questions there. We will have a Q&A session in the last 15 minutes or so that will be moderated by my colleague and co-host, Lucretia Wade. And with that, I will turn it over to Ellen.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Julie, for that wonderful introduction of these amazing people that are presenters here. Wow. I am part of it, and you are part of it, too. So, as Julie mentioned, my name is Ellen Klein, and I am a registered nurse and certified laughter yoga leader and teacher. And how I came to laughter yoga was out of a medical crisis. I lost my laugh. And that's oftentimes how change occurs. We go through some type of crisis. So I'm inviting you, I'm welcoming you in any way, that shape or form that you are, however you're feeling, to engage in this process of laughter yoga. So what is laughter yoga? We'll be talking about the history of it and then how to do it, and then doing the exercises, and then there will be a closing, and as Julie mentioned at the end, questions and answers. So laughter yoga was founded by a medical doctor in India in 1995. And it has spread around the world in just about every country. So you can Google laughter yoga in Iraq, in Egypt, in Africa, in Germany, anywhere, just about anywhere you can partake in laughter yoga sessions on Zoom and also on the internet, on YouTube. So laughter yoga is based on one of the concepts that motion creates emotion. So we are moving in happy ways, and that can do a great shift for our mental state, for our physical body. And because when you laugh, certain chemicals are released. We are actually like a pharmacy within. And we release chemicals all when we're stressed. Adrenaline and cortisol are released. When we're joyful, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins are released, and these are feel-good chemicals. So laughter brings those chemicals forth, and we can pretend to laugh. Our body doesn't know the difference between pretend laughter, like ha ha, ho ho, and authentic laughter. So, with that said, the reason why it's called laughter yoga is because we are laughing with these different exercises that engage us, look into each other's eyes, and also the breathing, the deeper breathing that we're used to, the yogic breathing, so thus laughter yoga. So what I'd like you to do to get the maximal benefit from this session is to engage as deeply as you can with the process. Follow my lead, and also don't do anything that hurts you. If I'm saying raise your arms and you can only go so high, please honor your body. Drink a lot of water, because this is actually an aerobic exercise. Norman Cousins, who wrote Anatomy of an Illness, which inspired Dr. Kataria, who founded Laughter Yoga, said that laughter is like internal jogging. So you're going to get a workout, but go at your own pace. And so no pain. Anyway, we're going to start with a greeting laughter, because we're from all different countries. Laughter is a universal language, so we can speak to each other in ha ha ha, ho ho ho, laughter language. And so we're going to greet each other in whatever language we speak. We're going to wave. We're going to do a fist bump, an elbow bump. With COVID, people are distancing themselves. So we're just going to bring ourselves into this moment. Oh, and before we do so, I'd like you to take a moment to check in with yourself on the joy scale. So just take a moment to feel how you're feeling and give yourself a rating. 1, I don't feel so great, to 10, I feel like I can fly. So take a moment, give yourself a number where you're at in this moment, because we're going to compare that at the end of the session to see if there's a change. So remember that number. And now we're just going to take a deep breath and breathe out And another breath. And breathe out. We're just priming the pump. And another breath. And laugh out. And after a laughter exercise, we typically go like this. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. 3 times, and then we go, yay! Okay, these are joy moves. And okay, the next one is I mentioned the greeting. So we're going to greet each other like long lost friends. A fist bump, a little elbow bump. Give each other a hug. And then again, ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. 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 Yay! I lost count. Then we can laugh at ourselves. Have you ever made a mistake? And then one of those breaths I talked about all the way in and out. We'll do that 3 times. In and out. Okay, another laughter exercise is gibberish. Gibberish is a classic laughter exercise. Gibberish is a made-up language, so it can be as simple as ha ha ho 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 ha, or so we're going to complain about our worst day ever in gibberish. So 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to compliment one another. We're going to talk about our greatest moments. We're going to talk about what we love about each other and about ourselves and our jobs in gibberish. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Yay! All right. The next exercise is cell phone laughter. The funniest call. So get your cell phone out and 1, 2, 3, take that call. And you can share the call with each other. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Yay! And another breath. This is hug yourself breath. Breathe in and hug yourself on the breath out. And breathe in and hug yourself on the way out. And one more time. And out. So there are times when we may not be able to laugh out loud. We're in a meeting and we want to feel good. We're feeling kind of yucky for a moment. We could be at the dentist's office. We want to release some endorphins as pain control. We just feel stressed. We want to shift our mood. And so there are stealth-like ways that we can laugh as well. So we can hold our thumb and think, ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha. Next finger, ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. We can just think it in our heads. Silent laughter. No one knows. Under the table. We can also, when I was at the dentist's office, my mouth was open. How could I laugh? I just went with my fingers. Ho, ho. Wait, ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. So there are many different ways. Go into the ladies' room, the men's room, just to take some breaths and release whatever is in the way of feeling a sense of joy and peace and groundedness. So basically, Dr. Kataria's mission is world peace through and health and happiness through laughter. And if we were laughing more and using our arms for hugging, there wouldn't be so much anger and divisiveness in this world. We'd be using our well-being to help each other. And another laughter yoga exercise, well, actually a chant you'll hear also around the world is very good, yay. Very good, yay. And one more time, very good, yay. And that puts you in that place of, it's a power move. And if you're feeling vulnerable or inconfident, you can put yourself in that victory pose, and it changes your energy and it changes your outlook. So I hope that you feel, well, let's do a check-in. Take a moment to just check in with yourself on that joy scale again. 1, I don't feel so good. 10, I feel so high, I could fly. This is a natural high. And just take a moment to check in, give it a number, and then take a moment to compare it to the first number. And notice if there's any improvement in your way of thinking, in the way your body feels, any release of pain, emotionally feeling more joyful. Those are the benefits of laughter yoga. So we are going to, I'm noticing, I did a lot of practice here for my session, and I'm noticing that I have more time. We have more time for more exercises. Very good, yay! Very good, yay! Very good, yay! All right, another exercise is hearty laughter. So put your hands to your heart and breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and laugh out. Fling those laughter molecules out into the air, and then we're going to grab them, reach for them and grab them, and we're going to gobble them up and giggle them out. And that ripple effect, it starts with you. Be the change you want to see in the world. You be joyful and share it with all your friends in your workspace. Again, reach for all those giggle molecules. Gentle reaches, gobble them up and giggle them out. And again. and giggle them out. So the best way that you can get a laugh out, because sometimes they're stuck, you want to look up, and we want belly laughs. Dr. Michael Miller, a cardiologist, wrote a book on heart health, and he gives a prescription to many of his patients to laugh 5 to 10 minutes a day, hearty laughter till they cry tears of joy. That is a medical prescription from a doctor to laugh and release all the negativity that tends to glom onto us. We could just wipe it off and take all of our concerns and our fears just for this moment. We can always pick them up at the end, but we want to put them in a hot air balloon and let it lift and release into the joyful universe. Be transformed. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you for being a participant in joy. And you are now initiated as laughter yogis.
Ellen, thank you so much. I myself feel so much better than I felt 20 minutes ago. So thank you for bringing some laughter and joy into my day. And I think it's so important in, the times that we're in to find time for some joy and laughter. And so thank you again. And I hope everybody out there in the audience has had a moment of joy and smiling and laughter and giggling because, if we all need a little bit of that in our day. So next, I'm going to turn it over to Andray, who's going to take us into, I believe, the next phase of our journey. So, Andray, it's all yours.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much. What a perfect way to start this morning with Ellen. How amazing was she, right? Laughter yoga, that was just perfect. So we're moving into the Om session now. And Om, you may affiliate with meditation. And we're going to do some guided meditation today. And for me today, Om stands for our mindset and how important our mindset is in leading our lives and really staying with the mental health aspect and theme of this dive-in festival. And so many people underestimate how powerful the mind is, how powerful our thoughts are, how powerful our beliefs are. And so, in the spirit of dive in, we're going to dive right into our first exercise. And I want you to indulge me. Close your eyes, get comfortable. And I want you to imagine you're in a dark room. There's nothing else in the room, but you're sitting down and you really can't see in front of you. You can't see anything around you because it's so dark. And you're sitting in this chair, you're comfortable, and all of a sudden, you see a light shine down from above. One of those cone lights that you see in those movies where the detective is interrogating someone. And you can see now that you're sitting at a desk, but it's a small desk. And there's nothing on the desk but a white tablecloth. So it's you sitting in this dark room, and the only thing that's illuminated really is yourself and the desk and this white tablecloth. Now you see a lemon sitting on that white table. And it's the most perfect lemon you've ever seen. No blemishes, perfect size. And a lemon starts to magically just float up, rising up, rising up, rising up, right in front of you. Maybe about a foot away from your face, but it's right at eye level. This lemon starts to float towards your face. And it's getting closer. It's getting closer, maybe about 3 to 4 inches away from your face, right at your eyes, sort of at the bridge of your nose. And you just observe it, how the coloration's so perfect. You can even smell a little bit of the zest. And a knife falls down from the ceiling and slices that lemon right in half. One of the lemon halves falls to the table, and there's one lemon half that's sitting there right in front of your face. And you can see the juices starting to percolate out from the flesh that's been cut. You can smell it. The aroma's filling the room now, how potent and pungent it is. And the lemon moves just another inch closer to your face. And then another inch closer, so it's right in front of your eyes. And it drops down right in front of your nose. And you can smell how powerful that lemon smell is. And it moves a little bit closer to your face and a little bit further down, right in front of your mouth. You can see the juice dripping off the lemon. Now open your mouth, stick out your tongue, and lick it. All right, open your eyes. How many people experienced increased salivation? How many people could sense that lemon right in front of their face? How many people even got a little bit of a twinge behind their ear back here as if you were licking that sour lemon? Right? That's how powerful the mind is, and that's how powerful our thoughts are. And the things that we think, the things that we tell ourselves, that voice that's constantly going on in our head, that I call it the Jerry Seinfeld. It's constantly commenting on the world, commenting on what you see, commenting on how you feel about this and about that. Those things affect our body. Those things affect our physiology. And that's why it's important to understand your mindset and to be in control or at least aware of what it is that you're thinking and what you're feeling. So another engagement, raise your finger if you meditate. Come on, raise a finger, engage. If you don't play full out, then it's not going to be any good for any of us. Raise a finger if you meditate. So if you did not raise your finger, you are lying, because everyone meditates. They just don't realize it. So there are two forms of meditation in my mind: active meditation and passive meditation. So many people engage in what I call passive meditation, and that's doing activities that tend to slow your mind down, quiet that Jerry Seinfeld in your mind so that your vibration actually rises. Because we tend to think about things that are bad, right? We worry about stuff. Well, if I didn't do this, I haven't done this, and I need to do that. Or we comment on things in a negative way. Oh, I can't believe she's wearing that. I can't believe they said that. You just do all these things that tend to frustrate you, and they affect your vibration. And so how many people feel amazing after a shower? How many people like activities like gardening or yoga or exercising? Or you notice that when you are cleaning, you tend to zone out and you look up and it's 20, 30 minutes later. Fishing or painting or anything like that, right? These are what I call passive meditations, activities that we do that take our mind off that hamster wheel of constant thought, constant observation, constant critique of what's going on in our life or other people in our life. And then there's what I call active meditation. And that's something where you use a visualization technique or an intention to try and achieve something through a relaxed state. So it may be planning an event, or you may be seeking answers to something that's going on in your life. And we're going to do an active meditation in a few minutes that we're going to use to de-stress ourselves and to bring awareness to how we feel, similar to what Ellen was doing in terms of checking in. So this is a way to check in and feel what kind of stress you have in your body, and to learn to release that, which you can do anytime in your day, several times a day, in fact, because it's important to notice how we feel, how we're interacting with ourselves and with our environment, and the things, and being aware and cognizant of the state that we want to be in, not just what we're receiving from what's going on around us, and sort of to be in control and not be at effect of everything that's going on around us, right? Because if we're at effect of everything going around us, we're prisoners. We're prisoners of the person that cuts us off in traffic. We're prisoner of the person who's having a bad day at the job. We're prisoner of anything that happens in our lives. And so, that our mindset, that that coming into power and in control of what's going on with you is so critical. And I'm going to show you a few ways to do that. And scientifically, this is important, and it's proven because, sixth grade science is true. Everything is made of energy. We heard that solid, liquid, gas, right? That everything's sort of in those elemental aspects. But when quantum physics was introduced, or I should say, put onto the scene a little bit further, it proved that even our most basic element in nature, right down to our bodies, the table you're sitting at, the computer you're on, it's not a physical object. It's not a solid. It's actually energy vortices. If you go down to the most elemental aspect, it's just a little spinning energy vortices. So we are energy. Our thoughts are energy. Everything we say is energy. Everything we experience is energy. The food we eat is energy. And so if you have that understanding, then you start to think, well, if everything is energy, then what I think is energy, and that affects me. That affects how I interact with the world. That affects how I create in my environment. And so it's important to understand, at least for me, that awareness of if you start thinking about things as everything is energy, then you start to appreciate how important it is that you're aware of what you're thinking, what you're believing, and how you're interacting. So we're going to do this meditation, and before we do it, we need to prepare ourselves. So first thing I want you to do is get as comfortable as you can. So if you're in your chair, whether that's sit back and relax, you may want to slump down a little bit. No one can see you. No one can see what you look like. So if you even want to lay down, that's fine. Just get as comfortable as you can. And I want you to start noticing first the sensation at the top of your head. Just try and feel the top of your head. Now, relax your face. Unclench your jaw. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. We're just trying to relax our face a bit here. Relax your shoulders. Notice any tension you might be feeling in your back. Notice how you're sitting. Is there any more pressure on one side of your body than the other? Is there any tension in your leg? Is your leg jumping or tapping? Try to relax your whole body. And now we're going to do some breath work, just a few breathing exercises, 3 intentional breaths on a 5-5-5 count. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count to 5 as you inhale. Inhale for 5 seconds, then we're going to hold that breath for 5 seconds, and then we're going to exhale for 5 seconds. We're going to do that 3 times. So then the point of this is really to bring our awareness back to ourselves and to ground ourselves into our reality at that moment, right? Because our minds tend to drift off into various things. So I'm going to start that breath exercise now. And we're going to, again, I'm going to prompt you. So I'll count in, I'll count the hold, I'll count the release, and we're going to do that 3 times. Okay, you ready? Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now notice, some of you may feel a little lightheaded. You may feel a little change in your physiology, but notice how that breath work works and how it makes you feel. So you can do that any time of day, just to catch your breath, just to feel in the moment and to clear your mind and clear your space. So again, relax your body, eyes closed again, and we're going to go into the meditation. And this again is a de-stressing meditation, one you could do any time. So close your eyes, relax, get comfortable. And I want you to visualize a ball of light about 3 feet above your head. I want you to really look at the details of that ball of light. How shiny, how bright is it? Is it spinning? Is it silvery white? Is it cloudy white? What does it look like? Are there other colors mixed into there? Really get a clear idea of what that light is. What does it look like? It's about 2 to 3 feet above your head. And now that ball of light starts to drop down towards your head, quite slowly, but it's moving down. And the edge of that ball of light starts to pierce the crown of your head. And this is your connection to consciousness and to your guidance. And as it crosses into your top of your head, you feel a sensation of it penetrating your body, filling your head up, connecting with your gateway, which is right between your eyes, sort of in between your forehead and your eyebrows, moving down, filling up your nose, your mouth, into your throat, clearing out any blockages in your throat, any inability to speak your truth, inability to ask for what you want or demand what you need, moving down into your chest, filling up your chest, your shoulders, letting go of anything that's been hurting you, any stagnant energy, any pain, releasing that from your body. That light's moving down into your arms, down to your fingertips, and moving into your stomach area about 4 inches above your belly. You feel a power surge there as it activates the truth of who you are, moving down past your navel, about 4 inches below your navel, and this energy, this white light, rests in your stomach, releasing your creativity and your connection to self, opening up avenues and aspects and pathways for you to walk in the path that you know is truly there for you, releasing any belief of unworthiness or inability to achieve what you want and do what you desire in life. Feel that light moving down into your pelvis, pulsating down into your sexy regions. Feel that light merging with your hips, opening up your back, moving up your spine. Deep breath, inhale, exhale. Feel that light moving down your legs, down to your knees, down your shins, into your feet. Now you're going to see 2 beams of light go through the floor from your feet into the ground, traveling at incredible speed, moving down toward the core of the earth. Connects with the core of the earth, and your light connects with earth. And then you see a ball of light moving back up from the core of the earth, up those beams into your body, filling you up, connecting with who you are. Rest with that energy, with that relaxation, with that detoxification. All right, come on back. How does that feel? Relaxed? So the whole point of that exercise was to notice how much stress we carry in our bodies on a day-to-day basis. You may have felt when we were initially going into that, how tight your face might have felt, how you might have had your jaw clenched, how your face might have been frowned up. It's very good to check in with yourself during the day to just feel, how do I feel? Am I tense? Is my stomach tight? Do I feel, stressed out? And one other thing is about gratitude and how important gratitude is. It's scientifically proven that you can't be grateful and angry or upset at the same time. So whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're struggling, figure out something to be grateful for. That's life-changing. It really is. You can't be unhappy and grateful at the same time. So I appreciate you for being here, for taking the time, for indulging and playing full out. And thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Andre. That was so wonderful. I feel very relaxed and grounded now, and I hope that our audience has experienced something similar. Uh, so I'm not going to I'm going to take this with me all day. And next, I am going to turn it over for our final presentation to Alexandra, who's going to take us through what I hope I will better understand by the end is hypnosis. So,
Hi, everybody. My name's Alexandra, and it's really a pleasure to be here today to talk about what it is that I do is for a living, because I think there is a association around the idea of hypnosis and what it is. And the first thing people think about is stage hypnotism, of going up on stage and quacking like a duck, me making you do things that you don't want to do. And while that is a modality of hypnosis, it is not what I do in my office with my clients. That is exciting to some people and that's disappointing to others. But I always say setting expectations with your clients is one of the top things when working together to achieve and accomplish what it is you'd like to work on. So what are we working on today in our SNAP session? We'll get into why hypnotists snap later, but I wanted to talk today about the idea of stress management and fear, because I think fear is a really interesting emotion. It's an interesting energy. It's an interesting thought, right? It also leads us to either take action or inaction. And so when we think about this idea of fear, I've found that almost all things that I'm working on with clients boils down to fear, right? And how do I work and how do we get into the hypnotic state? To get there, let's start with what is hypnosis. Hypnosis is a deep state of relaxation with an acute focus. Can everybody be hypnotized? Yes. If you can fall asleep, you actually go through the hypnotic states. How do you get there, right? First, it's very similar to meditation. We relax the body, then we relax the mind. What happens is as you go from the awake state to the sleep state, here in the awake state, your conscious mind is fully intact. You can think of it like a very tightly woven net, that everything that I'm saying to you is going into that net, being caught, and then dragged off to be made logical, rational, reasonable, logic, right? We deduce from there based on what we know. But as you fall asleep, that netting begins to open up and we begin to access the subconscious mind. And what is the subconscious? The subconscious mind makes up almost 90%. It includes like our primitive ways of being, right? It's what regulates our heartbeat, our fight or flight responses. But it's irrational. It's illogical. Everything is learned through association. It's purely behavioral. So how do we learn, right? From the moment you're born until today, everything is learned through association. If you, for example, get bit by a dog and you develop a fear of dogs, you've created the association, a pain point in the subconscious mind that has linked dogs to a fear. Therefore, when you see one, your subconscious mind is going to react, even though the logic is going to come in next to go, wait, the dog's on a leash, it's behind a fence, it's small, I know it's nice, right? And that's where we work. But what happens if you want to overcome your fear of dogs? Sure, there's a lot of exposure therapy, logical things you can do, willpower. But what hypnosis does is we get you into that subconscious state where your subconscious mind is open. And we begin to negotiate with your subconscious mind based on what it is you want. And it's really all about what you want. I could say, you're going to love dogs. That might not be your goal. So I'm on your agenda to say, what is it you want to feel when you're around a dog? And to then go into the subconscious mind to negotiate through what we call subconscious. We're offering you suggestions that your mind is either going to resonate with on a behavioral level, deep and subconscious, or it's going to reject them. And so that's the premise of how we work in hypnosis. You're never under my control. In fact, you're fully aware of everything that is happening at the time, even though when you go into some of the deeper depths, you may come out with a little bit of amnesia going, I kind of remember it, but I don't remember the specifics, but you're very aware. So as you go down toward the sleep states, your focus, which in the awake state is very broad, begins to just narrow in on what I'm saying. And so that's really what the hypnotic state is about. A lot of people, and it's a great way. I'm glad Andray got to start us with meditation because they're very similar in terms of getting you to that really open state. It's just from there, we then go into offer suggestions. And really, it's individualized to you in a session when I work with people. But let's get back to this idea of fear, right? Fear is an emotion. It's a reaction. It can be an association. We dig down. Most of the time when I work with people regarding fear, it's either a motivator, right? It's something that gets behind you. If I don't get this done, I have these consequences, or it's a complete block, right? You're so afraid or fearful or anxious or worried that if you do something or don't do something, what will happen, and therefore you don't take action. And everything is about how do we shift you into an active state versus a reactive state. So one of the things that I like to work with my clients on is helping them take fear outside of themselves, right? It's always so much easier to give your friends advice or tell everyone what to do. But when it comes to ourselves, it's like, oh, I can't. And so in this exercise that we're going to do, it's going to feel very similar to what we did with Andray, but we're going to really take fear outside of ourselves so that we can inspect it, see it, ask, what is it that I'm afraid of? Not why am I afraid, but what am I afraid of? What am I fearing? What am I worried about? Because from there, you can go ahead and begin to create options, solutions, plans, action steps. If you knew, right, what it was that you were fearing, what are my options? Because the more options you have, the more comfortable you're going to feel. The more that you have a plan, the better you're going to feel in control, that you can tackle whatever is in the unknown, because that is what the mind fears the most, is the unknown. And so we give picture and image, we give idea to the future versus having it be a fear thought, right? I don't know what it's going to be. It could be the worst case scenario. And that's just story. And so what I'm going to invite you to do right now is join me by just getting comfortable wherever you are and closing your eyes. Right? It's giving yourself permission to know that in this moment, there's nowhere you need to go. There's nowhere you need to be. And there's nobody wanting or needing anything from you. With your eyes closed, we go into this amazing world, a place where all around you, if you notice behind your eyelids, is space. And it's a space that you control. You can come here anytime you want. I like to go to this place when I'm on the subway and I'm surrounded by people. I close my eyes and all of a sudden there's infinite expanse around me. Now, relaxation and stress cannot coexist. And so what we're going to go for is relaxation of the body. The mind's going to be busy for a bit. That's okay. But relaxation of the body, relaxation, what does it feel like? It feels heavy because the body lets go of tension. And so I want you to think about what's underneath you, entering into a relationship with it, that the chair or the ground or the couch, it's there to support you. Let it. Let it safely support your body as it moves down. We drain the mind, we get out of the head by moving the energy downward. Move it down into your seat, down into your shoulders, down into your feet, your legs. Challenge yourself. How heavy can you make your body feel right now? How heavy are your arms? Where do you feel that the most, the heaviness? Can you feel gravity? Can you connect to the earth, to its energies, to yourself again? The next thing that we'll do is travel back up right into the nose and just feel your gentle breaths, the natural gentle breath. It doesn't have to be deep drawn in breath, but the breath moving up through the nose into the center of the forehead as if it were moving into the space, tickling your mind's third eye. And as you breathe it out, follow that ribbon of air down and away, as if you were moving up into the forehead to collect all your thoughts, all your worry, all your fears, all your stress, and blow it down and away so that it can collect in front of you into a ball. And we continue this process by just moving all that air gently up and again down and away. And each down and away collects that energy, stress of worry. You may notice that the ball has color. But this is your ball of stress. Some people like to imagine their stressed out self in front of them. How do you behave? What do you look like? What judgment do you have of this energy that you carry? What do they need? Because like a baby, they only cry when they need something. Our stress is the same. Can we hear what they're saying? What they're trying to protect you from? When we can reach a need, when we reach their fear, when we hear it, when we understand it, the intention behind it, what comfort can we give? That we've got this, we can take care of this. I hear you, I see you, I acknowledge you. Acknowledgement, emotions demand to be heard. Acknowledge it so that we can move through it. Now, if it's a person in front of you, let's move it back into that ball of energy, that ball of fear. Our goal is not to eradicate fear. Our goal is to just give yourself permission to place it to the side. Just put it to the side. You can tend to it later. You can, if you'd like to pick it up later, you can. But if we just put it to the side, what does that open up for you? If you didn't have fear today, what would you do differently? What changes in your mind, your thoughts, your energy, your actions? And just remember, as you join me back into the room, back here into the more awake state, just recognize, ask yourself as you go deep into your questions for the day, what am I fearing? Not why, but what? What about that's important? What is it trying to help me with? What is it trying to protect me from? And from there, you can begin to move forward, but start with the acknowledgement and then move into the action. want to thank you guys for being with me here today. And again, to answer your question, why do we snap our fingers? It's a overload mechanism. It can be an association mechanism. For people who maybe are smokers, it's like every time your hand goes towards your mouth with a cigarette, you hear no, and it's jarring. So it associates this anxiety with the action of smoking on a subconscious level. So that's why. But thank you, everybody. I hope that you have like a new tool that you can use through your day.
Wow. Alexandra, thank you so much. I had never gone through this, and I found it to be very um, refreshing and giving me another tool. So I guess that's what we hope all of today's different activities have given our audience are some tools to, manage their emotions throughout the course of the day. And I think, Lucretia, we are going to open up for our Q&A, and I think we just need to figure out where the questions are. So we apparently have many questions coming in. There we go. Okay. Lucretia, I don't think we hear your audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay. I would like to personally have Ellen and Alexandra and Andre move into my home so we can do this every morning. That would be my goal. Start my day. So we have some really great questions coming in, and one I'll get us started off. And I'll direct this to all three of you. Have you seen examples of teams doing any of the exercises you just did together at work? And what are some best practices around maybe doing that?
I'll say I was an employee health nurse at a global corporation, and we did a laughter session and just creating a culture of laughing where people are allowed to just laugh out loud and to maybe give each other fist bumps and we were just in a big auditorium, and we had a leader up at the front, and we had people on the screen because, as I mentioned, it was global, and it was just a lot of fun interacting and just letting our hair down and just not caring what people thought. It was just a total presence of being. And so yeah, creating a laughing culture. There are a lot of articles out about that. Productivity that gets increased, engagement. People enjoy coming to work. Sick days are reduced. So yeah, it's very potent.
Yeah, I would say for
Alexandra?
me, Yeah, I would say for me, one of the top things is, especially in management and working with people of all different, um, emotional backgrounds and experiences, is that emotions, again, want to be acknowledged. So when you're working with someone, you may even want to just say, what I'm hearing you say is this, is that right? Or if they're upset, it's not necessarily trying to shift them right away into fixing things. It's just simply acknowledging their emotion. It's like, I hear you're really upset. I can understand. It's understandable you're really upset about this, or this sounds very upsetting for you. Can you tell me more? Right. So I think acknowledging someone first is one of the top things that can help shift people and help them get into a more proactive state, or even just acknowledgement's huge. And I think it's one of the foundations of communication, because when you're in a anger or a fear state, it's going to be very hard to shift someone to find solutions until they've been feel like they've been heard. So it's acknowledging, I hear that this sounds like you're really happy about this. It sounds like you're really sad. Feed back to them what they're saying and you're hearing.
Alexandra, have you ever done any kind of group sessions at work of hypnosis? Is that a service that's offered?
Yes, I have done group sessions. I think group sessions are really interesting to find the common thread of what people are looking to work on as a team or as a group. Yes, it is something that I've done. I enjoy doing it too. It's very different than the one-on-one sessions.
Awesome. What about you, Andre, in terms of your meditation techniques and being able to take those into the workplace?
Sure. And I think important is shifting our perspective and bringing awareness. Some of you may have noticed that, man, I do meditations and I didn't even realize it, right? Like if I don't have my shower, I don't feel right, or if I don't get a chance to get my run in at least 2 or 3 times a week, I feel terrible. I don't feel right. But just like Ellen, how many of you have gravitate toward a certain person or group of people at some point during the day, and you laugh with each other because you have a connection and you just feel great, right? That's a group work environment, but it's more informal. And so a lot of these things we're talking about, we do them on a daily basis as a way of coping and don't even realize it. You're doing, laughter yoga when you get toward and gravitate toward the people you link up with at work or in your whatever it is, right? So just be broader, take your awareness outside and say, okay, this is what it is, but how do I do it in my life? And sometimes look and see how you might be doing things that aren't so good for you in your life as well. That awareness is key.
Thank you, Andre. And we got a really great question. It's funny because I had a very similar experience. And the question is, during your session, the light above my head was like a tangled mess of string lights, but moving and spinning. Do I need to work on organizing that light above my head into an orb? I couldn't even see the light. I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. So,
So that's a very interesting question. And yes and no, right? Because everyone's light is going to look different. We don't want to judge your light, right? Your light is your light. But what we do tend to see is that when people struggle to you're. And so if you feel like, well, I can't see this light, there's a blockage there. Like you're struggling to connect with that. Or I was doing this meditation a few weeks ago with a group of people, and or a little bit different, but there was an aspect we were looking, and one lady came to me afterward and she said, well, my light had it was orange and had different colors in it. And I said, well, how do you feel about that? She said, well, it felt like it felt like I was holding something back. Like I just didn't feel connected to this experience. Like I was afraid. I had an experience once in Tulum, Mexico, where a girl, we were doing a meditation where we were leaving our bodies, and she started crying. And she came back, and it turns out that she would not allow herself to have this because she didn't feel deserving, because she didn't save her grandfather from having a heart attack when she was 7 years old. And we made that connection, and it freed up total aspects in her life because she had been blocking herself in her life at every level because she never felt worthy enough of having a good life because she failed as a 6 year old.
well, that's amazing. And we're getting a lot of questions from people who want to know how to reach the three of you. Do you offer individual sessions? How to access your content? All three of them are on LinkedIn. You can find their full names spelled out in the session, and we'll also have some notes, session notes available. This will be available on the YouTube channel once the festival is over. I appreciate you all. This was amazing. I know why my light wasn't there because my brain is too busy. So we're gonna all continue to take this with us throughout the day, and I'll turn it back over to you, Julie.
Perfect. I think this was an amazing way to start the day. And for those of you who may be in other parts of the world, I hope this was a nice break in the middle of your day or even in your evening. I want to thank our three presenters for sharing their wisdom and their joy and their vision, and for helping me and helping all of us perhaps to have some additional tools to manage stress and to manage our emotions. And with that, I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for joining us in the session.